The new star at Miami, but it didn't start that way in his path to get here. He was grossly under-recruited coming out of high school. Ended up playing FCS ball at Incarnate Word in Texas. He was excellent there, found his way to Washington State for a couple years, and was the big target in the transfer portal.
Nobody knew who he was coming out of West Columbia High School in Texas. Everybody knows who he is now, though, Joe. 14,000-plus career yards. They believe with a better skill set around him and offensive line, he can take him to the next level. You're already hearing the crowd noise, though. This is something that he has to get used to very quickly in this game.
Here's Damien Martinez. Damien Martinez, speaking of the transfer portal, and look at the drive by the offensive line. He was the star out of Oregon State who came to South Florida.
He's a 230-pound running back, Joe, that feels right at home running between the tackles. Very comfortable in this zone scheme, and he's the kind of guy that can wear a defense down.
Now they're going with tempo. Remember, there's the coach-to-player communication, the headsets this year. We saw a slower pace of the game in Week 0 in Ireland between Florida State and Georgia Tech, but here a little bit of tempo as he goes ahead on second down. Impact Players brought to you by Home Depot.
Talked about Damien Martinez. Xavier Restrepo in the slot is just a monster. Set a school record for catches in a season last year. Jordan Castell started 11 games as a true freshman a year ago. He's a leader on the back end. They need TJ Searcy to be a force coming off the edge, rushing the passer.
They go underneath with the quick pitch to George. Jacoby George wrestled down just near the line of scrimmage by Pup Howard, the middle linebacker out of Jacksonville.
And Pup Howard's a big pickup. We talk a lot about the portal. He's coming over from South Carolina at 6'4", 240 pounds. Very rangy and very athletic. And that was a nice job of finding the football. There was a lot of eye candy in front of him with guys in motion. But he's able to go out and make a real tough tackle against a really good player in George.
Empty look on 2nd and 8. Ward's going to run it himself, and he's got a lot of room to just jog ahead and coast out for another Canes first down.
Well, it's going to be critical that the Gators do a good job with their pass rush lanes and everybody staying home. This time, you're going to see players loop inside. And right away, Cam Ward feels that. And as soon as he sees the rush from Shamar James, middle linebacker, he's off and running.
12-yard run from Cam Ward. Martinez looking for an opportunity, and then picks that hole to get out to the 44-yard line.
You know, this is a physical running attack from the Miami Hurricanes, Joe. They're a big offensive line. They're running it right at you, and they love to run it right between the guards. There is no mystery. Last year, they ran for 130 yards a game in between the guards. That was most in the country. So they're going to challenge this Florida defense and their front seven to see if they can step up and stop them.
2nd and 6. Ward spins to his left, looking for an opportunity, directing traffic, and what a catch and effort by Restrepo to come back to the ball and make that grab and move the chains again.
Man, and you know Mario Cristobal was holding his breath because that's the Cardinal sin as a quarterback. You're rolling to your left, you throw it back across your body to the middle of the field, but there's Restrepo, one of our impact players, making a very difficult grab behind his back. That is a huge play early for the Canes.
13 yards to Xavier Restrepo. Play action. Ward with time. Now darts ahead. Gets free. Looks behind and strides clearly out of bounds just inside the 20-yard line.
Well, that's another example of the Gators getting out of their rushing lanes. Derek Wingo is sitting in the middle of the field at linebacker. He's trying to watch Cam Ward's eyes. He just becomes impatient right here and runs, and as soon as he does that, you're seeing the poise of Cam Ward. Nothing open downfield. He just feels the rush lane. Gets a nice block by his left guard, Ryan Rodriguez. Off to the races. You know, he has a nonchalance about him. When you watch the body language of Cam Ward, it's not that he's disinterested. He's just always cool, calm, and composed.
The other big back, Mark Fletcher, comes in for the Canes. after that 24-yard run by Cam Ward. Fletcher gets the call, tries right tackle, but is driven back. He was pushed back by Tyreek Sapp.
This is the start I think Miami wants in this game, Joe. Obviously, you want to go down, you want to score points early, you want to create some momentum, but any chance you get early in the game to take this crowd at the Swamp out of the game, you want to do that. So this is a really important moment here, down in the red zone now early for the Miami Hurricanes.
Second and 10, three-man pressure. They drop 8 against Ward. Ward, look at all the time he has. Drifts all the way back to the 40-yard line before he throws it downfield and out of bounds.
And that is an absolute coverage sack that time. 8 guys dropping back, nowhere for Ward to go with the football. That time, the Gators stayed in their rush lanes. They only rushed 3, but Tyreek Sapp right here did a really good job of just staying outside. He wasn't going to let Cam Ward break contain like he has a few times earlier on the drive. Really nice adjustment, and now third down. This is where the crowd noise again becomes a major factor.
A sold-out Swamp, let it roar, 3rd and 10. Ward tried to check down. Arroyo wasn't anywhere near it, and the defense does their job, but we are going to check on a flag back at the 33. ACC-led group of officials with Marcus Woods as our referee.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 1, at the distance of the goal, touchdown.
That was Justice
Boone.
Yeah, he's the guy that got the pressure on Cam Ward. You're going to see here is he's just kind of throwing this in the ground at the feet. He's got to be able to let up a little bit. It happened right in front of the referee, and Billy Napier, he cannot believe it.
Defense was going to be walking off the field, and instead it brings it ahead to what is a 1st and goal. And costly penalty by Boone. Short pitch, Martinez. And he was tracked right down the line as he was brought down by Caleb Banks.
I think in the run game, Joe, you can see the athleticism that Florida has in their front 7. These defensive linemen, they're able to disengage, go hunt the football, and linebackers, they can fly sideline to sideline. They're matching the physicality. They bring in a new co-D coordinator in Ron Roberts over from Auburn, a guy that coached on Billy Napier's staff at Louisiana for a couple years. A lot of familiarity there. Big moment for his defense.
2nd and goal. Ron Roberts, one of the gritty veterans of coaching. Ward drifting back again, floats it complete, and into the end zone goes Cam McCormick, one of the great stories of college football. His 9th year playing the game, and he's... So they start from inside the 5-yard line. And Fletcher tries to give them running room, but he is stacked up on the inside by the middle of that front. Banks was in the mix there. And of course, the head coach was part of all that great national championship history. Mario Cristobal himself, 2 national titles as an offensive lineman for the Canes. So just a 2-yard run for Fletcher. It's a big opportunity for the Florida defense. Ward quickly gets it out to Arroyo, and the very athletic tight end is able to turn the corner for a 1st down.
Arroyo is a guy Miami needs to stay healthy this year. Only played 8 games the last 2 seasons, but he is so athletic at 6'4", 245 pounds. Tight ends only had 21 catches last season as a group, but they believe as good as they are at wide receiver, if number 8 Arroyo can stay healthy, then this passing attack goes to another level.
9-yard reception and a 1st down to get out of that compromised field position. Sidearms it to the outside to Restrepo, but they were right on top of it.
You know, the RPO game is such a big part of this Miami offense. And you see the mechanics of Cam Ward. He's like a shortstop turning too.
Yeah.
Right? Just catch and release. He gets it out so quickly. It's a lot of pressure on this Gators defense. There's Shannon Dawson, the offensive play caller for Miami. Right now, it feels like after an 11-play drive to open the game, trying to get some more breathing room here at the end of the first quarter.
Second and 9. Ward, you say he scrambles to throw, throws against the grain, and that ball is intercepted. That was Shamar James coming up with the pickoff, and Florida's in business. Martinez is going to bounce it to the right, finds enough room there as he gets out to the 32-yard line. The intensity of the Canes and the Gators in the heat here at the Swamp. Cam McCormick had the 9-yard touchdown catch. Smack had the 41-yard field goal. SEC on ABC, presented by Burger King, returns after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Shallow receiver before it went into the hands of Shamar James. Here is Martinez, and look at Martinez when he makes a decision to accelerate and then just steamrolls downfield as he went straight over DJ Douglas.
Well, he has tremendous patience, and for a 230-pound guy, he's got a lot of burst too. He just kind of sets this up, and Shamar James is mirroring him. And I think number 6 for the Gators was surprised at how quickly number 6 for the Canes bounced outside.
The most coveted running back in the transfer portal. Just a massive load of power running at 232 pounds. 17-yard run there for Martinez. That ball was a little shallow for Restrepo, but he's able to haul it in and then dance his way for a first down.
Well, that's a great job of Cam Ward knowing where his answer is against the corner blitz. Florida's going to bring it from the boundary, and there was no hesitation. Cam Ward knew right away, as soon as he saw this, he's throwing to Xavier Restrepo right now, right away. We talked about Cam Ward. He's been in the air raid offense now for years. That's the system that Shannon Dawson is running, and you can tell he already has the answers to the test in the passing game.
Shannon Dawson, the play caller for Miami, who spent 4 seasons at Houston. As part of the Dana Holgorsen coaching tree. First down, Ward just relaxed and then slings it, and he gets it to Restrepo again. First team All-ACC, Xavier Restrepo.
Yeah, I think we're learning a lot about Cam Ward on this drive, too. Remember, he's playing on a new team. They're trying to figure him out as well, Joe. You learn a lot about a guy sometimes. How do they respond after a bad play? After that interception. Now Cam Ward's taking the field. He's marching his offense down the field right now, under control. I think they're learning out a lot about their signal calling.
Play action on first down with pressure. One little move buys him time, gets it complete, and getting inside to the 10-yard line was Horton.
Well, he threw it against his body again.
He did.
But this time there was nobody around Horton. At 6'4", he was just spotted up. It was an easy catch, and he's able to advance it now. And I think this is a place where Mario Cristobal would love to see his offensive line take over. That was a real big key for them last year in recruiting through the portal, building the guys up front. So in situations like this, where it's hard to throw because the windows are so small, you'd love to be able to just turn around, hand it off to one of your big backs.
Well, he's got the big back in Damian Martinez. It's 1st and 10 technically. The ball's just outside the 10-yard line. There's that sidearm again as they go with the tunnel to Lofton, the true freshman.
And again, it's just an RPO. This could be a run inside with Martinez with the guard pulling, but he sees a look outside one-on-one, and he goes out to Elijah Lofton, a highly recruited tight end. They clocked him at 20 miles an hour in practice.
With that body?
In the spring, it's not supposed to happen. I mean, the guy can play running back if he wants to. Just another one of these weapons. Back-to-back recruiting classes that were the best in school history.
It was like you could play defensive line with that upper body. He's going to be something special. They have been recruiting, they have been getting into the transfer portal, and they have been landing everything that's coming up gold. 2nd and 7. Martinez looking for anything in the middle, but driven back. Pyburn and the rest of that team, and the ball came out there as Douglas is trying to play it, but the officials are waving it dead all the way back at about the 6-yard line.
The runners forward progress was stopped.
Well, here's the thing, right? We talked about the big bodies up front for Miami. That time, though, they're running into a 450-pound defensive tackle. Big number 21, Desmond Watson. It looks like he was the one, along with DJ Douglas, just trying to rip the football out.
You can't review forward progress. Once they say forward progress is stopped, that's it. 3rd down and 4. Here's Ward, third pressure off the edge as he gets it complete, but taken down right at the line of scrimmage is Martinez, as that was Pup Howard who came up big defensively.
There were so many times a season ago, Joe, where the Gators had coverage busts, especially at the linebacker level. That's a really nice play by Pup Howard, the transfer from South Carolina, staying home, and you saw the athleticism and speed, able to make the tackle.
Andy Borregales comes out for the short field goal attempt. It's just from 23 yards out. And he is as reliable as can be as the Canes and Ward goes right up to the line to check with them. Here's Ward. That was thrown behind Isaiah Horton. And a flag is down back at the 33.
They get another roughing the passer.
Crossing the foul. Rough the passer. Defense number 12. 15-yard penalty. First down.
It brought DJ Douglas on a safety blitz. He was about 20 yards away from Cam Ward. He had a full run coming from here. Ward gets rid of this football. You've got to let up. That's just a mental mistake by a 50-year senior transfer from Tulane. We've seen a couple of those now. Billy Napier scratching his head. I mean,
Trevor Coach crazy.
It's week 1, and you know the emotions are running high, but you got to play with more composure.
I mean, you look up and you blink, and all of a sudden the ball's at the Florida 43 when it would have been an incompletion. Here's Fletcher as he tries to drive ahead, but TJ Searcy with the tackle. We've just had the discussion about Miami and the quarterbacks drafted in the last 34 years.
And I think, listen, there has been mediocrity around the program in the last 20 years. They've been in the ACC for that amount of time, never won a conference championship. And I think the big reason why was inconsistency at the quarterback position. They believe that Cam Ward can be the key to taking the team to another level this year.
On 2nd and 7, over the middle, complete as he goes to Horton.
And it's a really nice job by the offensive line, giving Cam Ward a very clean pocket to survey the field. He starts this play off looking to the right side. He's got Restrepo on a spot route. He doesn't like it. So he's able to come back, refocus to the middle, and deliver an accurate ball.
Just easy 30 yards. Pitch and catch. Their longest play today. Ward tried to quick strike it to the end zone to Restrepo, but it's incomplete.
Well, you see all the different arm slots that Cam Ward can throw from, right? I was calling him a shortstop earlier because it literally can come out over top. He can throw it sidearm. He can throw it below sidearm. There are throwers, and then there are passers. Patrick Mahomes is a guy that you would consider a passer, a guy that just effortlessly can get rid of it accurately. And Cam Ward's got a little bit of that magic, that shortstop stuff in him.
Second and goal. Under center now. Here's Fletcher with a blocker in front, and Fletcher will take it right in. A 10-yard touchdown run from big Mark Fletcher.
We saw Cam McCormick catch a touchdown in the opening drive of the game. This time he gets a really nice block on Shamar James right here. It was a slow developing run play. Coming around the other side was Sam Brown, the transfer from Houston at wide receiver, getting a kick out on the safety Jordan Castell. Little misdirection to take it in for the touchdown.
Remember, they had the 30-yard completion to set it up. Of Mark Fletcher, who's back from that foot
and getting different people involved in the running game. Shannon Dawson's playbook as an offensive play caller right now is wide open.
Yep, and Jordan Lyles in the game, the top running back recruit in the country, is going to split out the true freshman from St. Thomas Aquinas in South Florida as he gets it quickly to Restrepo. This guy is so reliable.
Yeah, he really is, and he's just so sudden. He's probably quicker than he is fast, but he just creates separation off the line of scrimmage and just gets open a lot easier. We haven't called his name a ton in this game, but that is going to be a safety blanket for Cam Ward today and throughout the entire season. But when you need a big play, you can count on number 7.
Had 85 catches last year, the Miami single-season record. Second and 5. Lyle looking to turn the corner, and he kept his balance. It'll be 3rd and short from there.
You can see the speed there by Lyle, Joe. I mean, they have the thunder, right? They've got Damian Martinez. They've got Mark Fletcher. But who's going to be the lightning? Who can be the change of pace back? They lost their leading runner last year, Henry Parrish, to Ole Miss. They're hoping the true freshman could kind of pick up the slack in that category.
3rd and 2. Remember how this crowd was roaring to start the game. This is a different crowd than it was just a half an hour ago. Will this defense respond? Ward on 3rd down. Quickly gets it out as Lyle tries to fight for the line to make, and I think they're going to mark him short based on that, as TJ Searcy was there defensively.
That's a great tackle by Searcy out in space against a much smaller running back, and that time Cam Ward worked through an entire progression. He got to his 4th read in it. That was his running back on the swing, but the Gators able to stay home in a big 265-pound defensive end out, forcing Miami to use that timeout.
The official standing over the ball. Second and 2 as Ward checks at the line. You can see Shamar James making the adjustment for the Gators defense. Martinez, as he just puts all that weight and power behind it. And Tyreek Sapp was the first to get to him, but that'll be a 1st down for Miami. No timeouts for Miami.
I think if you're the Canes, you got to be thinking about your kicker, Andres Borregales, one of the best in the country. He had a 51-yarder against Florida State a year ago. So in Cam Ward's mind, you're thinking if we can get somewhere near the 35-yard line here, we're in Borregales' range.
Ward gets it complete, threw it behind Arroyo, but complete. And now Miami all of a sudden is right there in prime position to strike.
We talked about the athleticism of Arroyo and why they were so excited. 250 pounds, looking like Jimmy Graham, stretching the field vertically. Make that big catch.
Ward to the end zone, incomplete, as he was looking for Horton.
And all of a sudden, you know, this drive kind of starts off with a few run plays. It looks like Miami's just going to take their time, and right away, boom, boom, back-to-back throws deep down the field trying to challenge this Gator secondary. Talked about this Miami receiving unit, by the way, being dangerous and good after the catch. 55 yards already in this game after the catch.
50 seconds remaining. Second down and 10. Ward. Quick strike, and into the end zone goes Xavier Restrepo. How about that drive by the Canes? 24-yard touchdown. It didn't take long when Cam Ward and the play caller Shannon Dawson made a decision. They came right down the field.
I think it was a coverage bust on the back end by the Gators. It looked like they had, so far, Joe, he looks the part.
Here's Mark Fletcher, who had a touchdown run in the first half, but he's wrapped up right away by Pup Howard. Katie.
Well, Jesse, Mario Cristobal echoed your same sentiments coming out of the locker room. He said the response he saw from Cam Ward after the interception is exactly why they got him this offseason. He said that mentality, that leadership is what won over his teammates in the offseason. He's helped change the culture to a more winning culture at Miami, which was needed. But Mario Cristobal did say we got to eliminate the dumb stuff, the substitutions, the burning of timeouts here in the second half.
Second down and 9 as he quickly gets it to the outside to Sam Brown. First half stats are brought to you by Bud Light. Look at the total yards, 283 to 145.
And the balance as well. They've done a really good job running it. They've done a really good job throwing it. They've been trying to keep this Gator defense on their heels. And with the poison decision-making at the quarterback position, it really has made the difference. Here's a big third down early in the second half.
Third down and 3. There's Ward. Good protection, and he gets it on the inside to Restrepo, who turns around, spins free, and gets all that extra yardage. Xavier Restrepo, one of the best around.
And that is an outstanding route by Restrepo in the slot. They got him matched up with Turner, the transfer safety coming from Washington. He's going to run a whip. He's up here running out. Turner takes it, puts his foot in the ground, comes back to the inside. In a man-to-man situation, he just loses the safety. It's a better matchup for Cam Ward, and he identified it at the line of scrimmage. Looking across the board at all those matchups, he knows right now, there's no question, going to number 7, see what he can do after the catch. Xavier
Restrepo goes for 40 yards, and it's not good news for the Gators as Asa Turner, their starting safety, who's coming off that run to the college football playoff national championship game with Washington, was a big piece of the puzzle, this defensive backfield. He has been down on the turf after this play, and the medical team out to see him.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the big problems for the Gators defense at the end of last year, they had 2 true freshmen playing at the safety position, and that kind of demonstrated itself with a lot of problems. Bringing in an experienced veteran that's played in big games like Asa Turner was really supposed to sort of shore stuff up on the back end, and they really felt when you paired him with freshman All-American Jordan Castell that the safety position went from a place of weakness now to one of strength. It's really important for the Gators they're able to get 20 back on the field.
Miami opens up this second half, gets right down to the 4 to 29-yard line. Ward off play action. He's going to check down underneath to Fletcher. Fletcher, look at him go inside the 10, and it's going to be first and goal Canes.
And another great decision that time by Ward. He's got Sam Brown running a deep in route. It's not open, and he doesn't panic. He just knows he's got Fletcher in the flat, checking out of the backfield. Gets it to him early, makes it easy and catchable for the running back. He's able to make Sharif Denson miss. He turned it into an explosive play.
Yeah, 22 yards. They have 6 plays now over 20 yards. This is a very talented Miami offense. Gets it out quick again. Here's Brown to the corner. And they're going to mark him down inside the 1-yard line. Sam Brown, he's the transfer from Houston who they're super high on.
Yeah, they got it to him quick. They got Ray Joseph in the slot at receiver trying to get a block downfield for him. And looked like his momentum was going to carry him in. But Denson, who just missed the last tackle, able to make this one. As you take a look at this from the progressive pylon.
Oh, that's close.
That's really close, Joe. They're going to want to take a look at that.
As he spins around, I think he's on the body of the defender, Jesse. This is going to be very close. That progressive pylon cam gave you a great look at it. So this play is officially under review. But that angle with the progressive pylon cam, it appeared that his body is on top of the defender.
Taking a look back, ball in his right hand. The question is, does his knee touch the ground before that? And if it does, where's the ball in relation to the plane, to the goal line?
As he spins around, does his knee drag? Now, listen, it could be anything but the bottom of the shoe. Correct, Matt Austin?
That's correct. And the view from the pylon cam, it does look like his right shin does drag on the grass.
Yeah, there it is.
He swung around.
There it is. And that's why I framed it that way. It doesn't have to be the knee. It could be any part of his body outside of the bottom of the shoe. And watch the shin here, as Matt points out. Right there.
Yeah. Well, it's been another impressive drive here by Miami. And, you know, with the score right now, 24-10, this is one of those situations where the Gators were to go up 31-10. You know, how does that impact the crowd? Any opportunity? We talked about that at the start of the game. Any chance they can get to quiet down the swamp, they want to do that. And
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Second down.
So it'll be second down from there. Sam Brown is just another piece that they've added to this loaded offense. He was with Houston, and he had a great fall camp. He's already proven to be a huge addition when you're around the facility and the program. They know it.
how nice now, if you're the Hurricanes, you've got Mark Fletcher, a true sophomore, 230-pound battering ram. It's tailor-made for these kind of situations.
Got Lofton offset as a blocking back. Fletcher, the tailback, as he goes up and tries to get over, and it is a touchdown. Mark Fletcher is in again, his second of the day.
Well, it was Restrepo that had the big catch and run, an explosive play that got this offense in business. They're able to cap it off in the end. We talked about in this running game, there's not a lot of mystery. They just line up mano-a-mano and just go right down the middle. And that time, Mark Fletcher goes up and over. Didn't look like the ball crossed the plane initially, but he got dumped into the end zone.
We discussed it when we started the second half, saying if you're the Florida defense, you know Miami's getting the ball to start this thing. You gotta get a stop. And instead, it was a 6-play drive that went 75 yards. And again, Cam Ward did it in quick fashion. And Mark Fletcher caps it, 31-10.
Very special player, but he's throwing up against one of the best secondaries in the country at Notre Dame.
There's that sidearm as he goes to Arroyo with blockers in front. Elijah Arroyo, and he could be a breakout star. Sort of has that Jimmy Graham-esque body to him, Arroyo.
So it's a good decision quickly by Cam Ward. This time, 2 Gators got sucked in on this RPO. One's a blitz, and then outside Marshall, a corner. He kind of gets his eyes caught inside. As soon as Cam Ward saw that, this was an easy spit-out throw, and the Gators defensively are lucky this didn't go for more yards.
By the way, how about little Xavier Restrepo getting out there and blocking? He's in all over the field. 23 yards to Arroyo. Fletcher back on the ground as he lowers his shoulder.
But Joe, you see how decisive Cam Ward is
Yes.
as he's playing. We talked about, they go, this match with Shannon Dawson's offense. It really could be a match made in heaven, and you see it. He's familiar with the schemes in the passing game, having played in the air raid offense. He's also familiar on the checks in the RPO game. He knows which defenders to key on, and with his mechanics, now quickly he decides to throw. He's able to just spit the football out so quickly. It just makes the offense so much more efficient, and there really has not been that big of a learning curve having come from Washington State.
There's Lyle as he will move the chains again out past midfield, and now that Miami road grading offensive line and all the talent in running back, and they're dominating the time of possession.
And this is what I like about Shannon Dawson's quote-unquote air raid offense. It's not like the one Hal Mumme or Mike Leach ran where they're throwing it 70 times a game. He learned from the Godfather Hal Mumme, but he's committed to running the football. So they can be finesse, yes. They can also be physical. This offense can beat you however they need to.
Here's Ward. Steps up. Able to free himself. Launches downfield inside the 10, and it was batted away. He was looking for Sam Brown.
Jordan Castell is playing safety back there. And you want to talk about a guy that was an impact freshman a year ago, got forced into the starting lineup. 11 starts on the year. He led the team in tackles. He's got so much range. He's a young player that they're going to be able to build around. That was a tremendous play going up over Sam Brown and knocking that thing away.
He was one of the very best freshmen in the country, as you mentioned a year ago. Second and 10. Gets it up quickly again. Ball came loose. I don't know that it was a completion, but if it's a live ball, it's in the hands of Douglas. Douglas is returning it, and they're treating it that way.
I don't think it was ever a catch. It was definitely a forward pass. I think this is going to be deemed incomplete.
That's the way I saw it live, Jesse. Let's see if the officials agree. But they treated it like a live ball.
Ruling on the field is completion, then fumble.
Third down and 10. Ward with time downfield and just lofts it to Horton, who secures it. And Miami with their 22nd first down of the day.
Well, you can't teach height. Horton's 6'4". It's a little double move, a little stutter. And Jakeem Jackson was really in good position on that. But again, there's no defense for a perfect throw. And Cam Ward puts that right on his face mask.
27 yards. He's making it look easy, isn't Cam Ward? A little too much on that as he was looking for Ray Joseph. I mentioned 22 first downs because of the differential here. It's so stark. 22 first downs for Miami, 8 for Florida.
You'd never know that this was an offense with a quarterback that had only played a half inning. I mean, they look like a well-oiled machine. Communication, and we thought that was going to be a big challenge. New rule this year in college football, headset communication between the coach and the quarterback. And would Cam Ward be able to communicate with his teammates? Would he be able to hear in this noise? Would he be able to function? It just hasn't been a problem. The offense is just a well-oiled machine.
Lyle. And he's taken down in the backfield by Shamar James, who had the interception earlier today.
Yeah, he completely blew that up. And he's a guy they're happy to get back healthy. He missed 4 games at the end of last year with a knee injury. As soon as he sees a gap, he's downhill with his speed and able to make the tackle for loss. So here's another big third down. And who can be the guy for the Gators? I mean, TJ Searcy is a guy, number 19, that they were really hoping could step up and assume that role. Right now they've got him lined up inside.
Third down and 11. Ward able to spin free of Searcy and then goes to the end zone, and in the back of the end zone it is Jacoby George. My oh my, Cam Ward's having himself a day. 23-yard touchdown catch. Tiptoeing that back line by George.
It's like he's just out for a walk. It's like, look at his face, look at his demeanor. Look at the poise is ridiculous. And the catch in the back of the end zone to make sure he got 2 feet down, that's good on Sundays. That was an unbelievable play by Cam Ward.
And look at this determination. You know, Mario Cristobal said to us yesterday, he said, listen, this is a guy who's got drive and determination, and that is what makes him charismatic. His charisma is when you just absorb that drive and determination. And he said to us, he's going to be successful at absolutely anything in life. It just so happens he's successful at playing quarterback. And right now, Miami is just rolling here in Gainesville.
And he is putting on an absolute show. He's able to make Searcy miss. He scrambles out, scramble to throw, never loses his poise. And Jacoby George, who only had 1 catch for 2 yards before this, puts Miami back on the board. This could not have been a better week 1 start for the Canes.
Ever, as in 117 seasons of football ever. 38-10. Martinez looking for anything, can't find much against that Florida front. TJ Searcy and the rest of them on the tackle. As we start the 4th quarter with the new additions to the Miami backfield, Ward and Martinez, as they go with Restrepo on the end around looking to pass, and he does, and it nearly was completed to Sam Brown. So Miami opens up with the
Sam
trick play.
Brown, you've got to put 2 hands up and make that catch. I don't know how many times this year Xavier Restrepo is going to get an opportunity to do that. That was actually a really good looking throw. I think Sam Brown at the end of this kind of got lazy. Man, that is going to be an interesting wide receiving meeting room when they go back and look at this. As you take a look on the progressive pylon cam, oh, he can't believe it himself. He's like, bro, so you're just only going to catch for Cam Ward. You're going to make nice catches and get both feet down at the back of the end zone. You're not going to try for me.
Third and 9 for Cam Ward as he's being chased nearly back to midfield, and he launches it away. That was Sapp who was coming after him. Let's look at Restrepo's throw again. You know, in film this week, he's going to be saying all week long, Sam, but Sam, you could have.
Yeah, you left me out to dry. I know you're new here. You're just showing up from the University of Houston, but you've got to put 2 hands up around here to try to make catches. The good news is, though, for Xavier, is he's going to get another opportunity from Shannon Dawson at some point this season.
Right.
I mean, he's not going to get it in the stat book. That should have been a touchdown pass, but he has earned another throw, in my opinion.
And Borregales comes on for the field goal. His older brother, Jose, won the Lou Groza Award 4 years ago. Mario Cristobal said, I wish the Borregales family had even more children.
Former Hurricane, and as a fan, we've been looking for a team like this for a while now. And to come out and see what these guys put on today was very impressive, and I can't wait to see the next games.
Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you so much for having me.
And Devin Hester knows the guy who was most impressive was Cam Ward, who's still in the game here.
Yeah, he is. Well, I think he'd be out of the game had DJ Lagway not led that touchdown drive. 21 points, crazier things have happened. Remember, if you're Miami and what happened late in the game against Georgia Tech a year ago, you know, that's something that kind of lingers. And I know the situation's a little bit different, but you'd want to keep this thing in hand. I don't think you're going to see Cam Ward throw it again. I think you're going to see a lot of handoffs to the 230-pound running back beside him, Damian Martinez.
Martinez, the big bruiser from Oregon State. He was there for a couple years, ran for over 2,100 yards playing for Oregon State. Here's Ward scrambling around, casually slings it downfield and gets it complete inside the 20. He is almost too relaxed, Jesse. It's unbelievable.
Nonchalant, and his body language reminds me a little bit of J.D. Daniels. That time, again, going to his left, side-arming it back to Elijah Arroyo. And this coaching staff is staying aggressive. They're still letting Ward throw it down the field. Whether he's been in the pocket, Joe, whether he's been outside, it's looked really, really good. Outside of that 1 interception, he's been virtually flawless in this game.
351 yards and 3 touchdowns. And showing these Mahomes-esque arm angles time and again. Short pitch to Martinez. Martinez looking for something into the boundary. Not going to find much. Just goes ahead for a yard before he's driven out.
Yeah, and the clock keeps running, and that's a veteran run by a veteran running back there. Understanding the situation, you're trying to bleed the clock, not running out of bounds, not stopping it. You know, Joe, you're a boxing pundit. You're an expert. You're the best play-by-play guy in the business. These big body runs by the Canes, right? These 2-3 yard gains in the first quarter. It was like body blows.
Body shots. Yeah, they're body shots. They take your legs away.
And you're kind of counting on the fact late in games, those 2- and 3-yard gains become 7- and 8-yard gains.
As we often say when we're calling a fight ringside and you continually are taking to the body, you're breaking a man's will, right? You're breaking a defense's will, desire to tackle, desire to engage. Great point by you. As Martinez,
but you see how the
muscles ahead.
The pile's just moving a little bit differently now, and it's big bodies up front, but it's also 230-pound running backs and Fletcher and Martinez toting the rock as well. This is going to be a problem for defenses all year long facing Miami. Your physicality and your will is going to be tested.
And much like in a fight, if you make those deposits in the early and middle rounds, if you commit to the power running game in the first and second and third quarter, you get the payoff in the later rounds. You get the payoff in the fourth.
You got to be patient.
You deposit into the bank with the body shots. You deposit into the bank with the power running game. Here's 3rd and 5. Ward out of the backfield, threw a little behind Damian Martinez, so it goes incomplete.
But I mean, it's so nice as an offense to be able to say, you know what, we can go out and we can make deposits early in games.
Yes.
We can run the football, and we've got some talent in the backfield, and we've recruited well on the offensive line. And oh yeah, by the way, we've got a guy whose Heisman Trophy campaign just kicked off today here in Gainesville.
Hey, but listen, that's a real conversation. It did. And I know, listen, it's way too early. But you think about their schedule, you think about the conference, you think about where they're going to be lining up potentially for the college football playoff and how special a year it could be with the talent, as Borregales will put it through. He's going to be a guy.
If he can stay healthy.
If he can stay healthy, he's going to be a guy. Cam Ward comes over from Washington State, and he's put 41 points up against a Florida team that felt very good about the additions they made to this roster, felt very good about the coaching staff being enhanced with Ron Roberts as the co-DC, with Will Harris coming over to coach the defensive backs, and it's the most points allowed in a home opener, and they added to it, 41.
And that was the side of the ball. I don't know, man, Joe. It's like just when you look at Miami, maybe year 3 could be a magical year for Mario Cristobal here in Miami. I mean, like, they've got the talent through high school and through the portal. He's got 2 coordinators that are now in the 2nd year running their systems. There's a little bit more familiarity. They've got the schedule. You think about last year, Steve Sarkisian, Kalen DeBoer taking their teams to the college football playoff in their 3rd years. Urban Meyer won a national title in his 3rd year at Ohio State. Les Miles in 2007 did.
Yes.
Brian Kelly went to the national championship game in his 3rd year at Notre Dame. I mean, that year has been special, and we've seen it before.
And when you look at this team in the trenches, that is where I look at them and say they are different. He's an offensive line guy, so you know what you're always getting there. But the defensive line and the additions there, and we will talk more about that when we come up and really size up Miami on the national front. It's the 2-minute timeout from here at the Swamp. 50 yards and 3 touchdown passes. Look. Or you can add to the yardage with Lofton. Elijah Lofton. This is an athletic freak out of Las Vegas, the true freshman H-back who's so versatile, so strong. One of the top-ranked tight ends in the country coming out of high school, and he gave you a glimpse there, Jesse.
Yeah, from the powerhouse Bishop Gorman High School in Vegas, as you mentioned. And I mean, they're loaded at receiver, they're loaded at running back, they're good on the offensive line. And you've seen Elijah Arroyo, you've seen Cam McCormick, and now Elijah Lofton getting involved at the tight end position too. Lots of competitive depth. Not just good starters, but good backups, good third stringers. When they come in the game, there's not a lot of drop off.
Jesse, they have over 500 yards of offense against this Ron Roberts defense. Ron Roberts, one of the veteran defensive coordinators. Austin Armstrong still on the staff, his second season, the co-DCs. And they felt very good about a lot of the additions they made to this defensive group. And Miami has gone for 524 yards of total offense here on the road at Florida.
I think the most disappointing thing for Florida in this, from a defensive standpoint, is just it's a lot of the same mistakes from a season ago, Joe. A lot of it hasn't been cleaned up or fixed. It's early in the year. You've got a game against Stanford next season where you can try to clean up some of this before a pretty talented Texas A&M team comes back to Gainesville. But on both sides of the ball, there's a lot to clean up if you're Billy Napier and this coaching staff.
Timeout used with 1:08 to play.
And this is the last 5 games of last year. And a big reason for that was they were playing with a lot of true freshmen on the field. You know, true freshmen accounted for 25% of the Gator defensive snaps a year ago, and that showed up on film. But they're now older, and they've now been in the system a little bit longer, and they're expected to play better. And obviously they had a massive challenge facing off against one of the best quarterbacks in the entire country. But penalties, missed tackles, busts, not enough pass rush. There's a lot that needs to improve if the Gators are going to be competitive with that schedule.
A.J. Allen going to close things out at running back for Miami. A reminder, you got Notre Dame and Texas A&M coming up. Spectacular opening week of college football. Boy, what a fun time we had in Ireland, by the way. I mean, week 0 ever been better than that with the Georgia Tech big win against Florida State, and now you roll that right into this week 1.
And a phenomenal environment here at the Swamp. It was rocking early. You can't say enough about the Miami Hurricanes, though. And Cam Ward, the thing I'm going to take away from this performance from him, Joe, it's not just the throwing and the talent and his ability to run, but the poise and how he handled situations, right? And the way he responded after throwing an interception, leading his team down for a touchdown, how he played with a 2-minute situation at the end of the first half. Scrambling around, not throwing it away, but throwing a beautiful touchdown pass at the end of the third quarter. The moment was never too big for him. He was able to handle this crowd at the Swamp. It's hard to imagine a better first game, and Mario Cristobal has got to be very pleased, not just with Cam Ward, but his football team really in all 3 phases.
You know, for a few weeks, you and I have talked about this game and said one of these 2 coaches is going to walk away from this game and feel like, yep, we've got this thing where we want it to go. That's Mario Cristobal right now. You look at the talent, you look at the performance today, you look at how the schedule shapes up, and you think long-term, he now has it right where it should be.
And they have the mentality because they answered the bell. They had to have a sense of urgency in this game. Again, a lot of people believe that maybe this was the toughest game on Miami's schedule. They showed up ready to go from the very opening whistle.
Katie's with the star of the day.
Thanks, Tess. Cam, you are as advertised and then some. How would you say your first game as a Miami Hurricane win?
It was good. Both sides of the ball came with it. Shout out to the defense. They played good all day. I gave up a couple points, but it was a good team win. We came out prepared. I feel like this is the most prepared that I've been in my college career, and I'm just excited that we go 1-0.
You can obviously sling it. You've got a swagger about you. You can make some unconventional things happen. How would you describe the mentality that you play with?
Just mentality to not care. I mean, you only get a certain amount of time to play football, and I'm going to take advantage of every opportunity I get. It's something that I wanted to do out of high school is come play in the SEC, and I got a chance to do that. I'm 1-0. So, you know, all glory to God. You know, I'm just blessed to be here.
You told me this week that you guys were going to win a couple games because of the guys in the trenches. What did you think of the play from both lines?
Them boys playing today. O-line really didn't give up in no sack today. That one sack, that was on me. That was a bad pocket movement. D-line came with it. I told Ruben Bay, I said, you want me to take the ball first or you want it? He said, give it to me. They went on defense, got 3 now. So, you know, it was good, both sides of the ball in trenches. But the boys, they've been going there since January, so I'm just happy to be behind the O-line.
This is a statement win. What kind of message do you think this sends about Miami football?
Just a message that we're going to be physical. I mean, we on to the next game. I'm going to celebrate this for 30 minutes. As soon as I get on that flight, I'm on the FAMU. So, you know, I'm ready for next week. Got to start preparing tonight.
Enjoy those 30 minutes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That guy is locked in. He said the most prepared.